Hey guys, welcome back to Spirit Guided channel. Today we are bringing you something that is very, you know, enlightening. And you know what? If you have not subscribed, why don't you just join the family and let's just get started. So this is a 1999 animation by Nickelodeon, SpongeBob SquarePants, with all his very distinct and very strong characters. SpongeBob has some facts though that you need to know about. Number one, SpongeBob has been said to have a lot of problems with him. Like I said, there are a lot of things that you have to notice before you let your kids watch something or before you yourself watches something. I mean, it is so shocking that some kids' cartoons are made like this. But let's just get straight to the point. SpongeBob has split personalities. At number one, we have a fan theory that SpongeBob has split personalities, and you can see that in two very vivid episodes where SpongeBob has an abrasive side. In the part where he was bought an abrasive side, and the part where he played Chef Bob, you could see that SpongeBob was very aggressive and said a lot of harsh things to people. It's also been said that SpongeBob is trying to manipulate everybody in Bikini Bottom to not like Squidward. Meanwhile, he is the one that has the problem. So is SpongeBob really the bubbly yellow sponge that we know from under the sea who lives in a pineapple under the sea? We don't know. But these are some fan theories, which if you look at it so well, you might actually see some truth about it, because everyone thinks Squidward is crazy just because of SpongeBob. So yeah, you might want to rethink that. And let me shock you at number two. At number two, you know that SpongeBob and Patrick are actually best friends, but it is being said in an episode, clearly I'm stupid, where SpongeBob tried to act as stupid as Patrick, saying that Patrick's parents actually abused him for being not as smart as the others. And usually in this cartoon there are a lot of sinister and very painful things that were said about Patrick. I don't think Patrick should be called stupid. I think he should be classified as not very smart, because then that makes children who are not as bright as Patrick or have a condition like Patrick to have a good self-esteem. Also, you'd also notice an episode where Sam, his sister, came over to visit, and she was extremely protective of Patrick. So it means that Patrick has been in an abusive relationship with his parents just because of the entire fact that he wasn't as smart as the others. Also, it is said that SpongeBob actually adopted Patrick. I don't really believe that one though, but I mean, it makes a lot of sense that Patrick sometimes can just have some tantrums. But anyways, let's get to the third fact. Okay, up with number three is Mr. Krabs and our very own Plankton. Now, this theory might be very disturbing to you, like extremely disturbing, but let's go with the theory. It is being said so most of these are fan theories and take everything with a grain of salt, but we got to see that Plankton and Krabs were actually in a relationship. They were dating, and then when they split up, they actually formed the Krabby Patty formula together. And when they split up, they started fighting for the secret. That is why Plankton is so how do I put it now, so determined to get the Krabby Patty formula, so that to get back to Mr. Krabs. And also, it is also being said again, you see, this is what I said, take everything with a grain of salt, because every single thing can change. It's been said that Plankton and Mr. Krabs love the same woman who formed the secret party Krabby Patty formula, and then that's how they got their enmity and their competition. And if you notice, Chom is actually looking like a bunch of crushed crabs, if you might say. So yes, this theory kind of makes sense when you look at the formula of Chom, but like I said, take everything with a grain of salt. But it's very shocking to see that sometimes between all the fun and all the laugh and every single thing that is happening on TV with your children watching, there's so much deeper than that. At number four, you guessed it, we have the most, how do I put it now, the most speculated fan theory of all time. Pearl is actually Mr. Krabs' sugar baby, meaning Mr. Krabs is her sugar daddy. This is so weird because I always grew up with knowing Pearl as a little whale who, just was with her dad, who was a spoilt, overbearing child. But at this point, with all the fan theories and all the facts and all the proofs, you have to admit that some parts of it are true. Like, number one, with Mr. Krabs will never give his money to anybody except Pearl. Like, Pearl would literally take anything that she wants from Mr. Krabs without any problems, and she could actually talk to her dad anyhow she wanted to. And Pearl was actually, very spoiled. Because of how deep Mr. Krabs loves money, you see that he is obsessed. He's literally obsessed with money. So it was kind of not really a shock when these fan theories came out about Mr. Krabs and Pearl having something else to do other than just being daughter and daddy, or daddy and daughter. So yeah, just keep your fingers crossed, because sometimes, like I said, these fan theories should be taken with a very tiny grain of salt. But let's not forget that Mr. Krabs actually got married to money, who was Plankton, which proves our other point, meaning that Plankton actually knows exactly how Krabs needs to be loved, and that is why Plankton was able to seduce Krabs. This is so deep. Oh God, help our generation. This is so deep for children. But anyways, let's move on to number 5 point. We have the Sandy theory. I don't really think a lot of people really take time to study Sandy's character. But if you notice, according to, a blog I read, which I actually did my own research though, so don't judge me, Sandy is asexual. Well, to me, all these cartoons having sexualities, it's just not necessary at the time, because children don't understand like what is going on here. So recently Nickelodeon announced that Spongebob is gay, and nobody has announced that Sandy is asexual yet, but there are speculations that she is asexual. A lot of people also say that Sandy and Mr. Krabs had a relationship, but take anything with a grain of salt. So did you agree with the facts in this video? We're not trying to say SpongeBob is bad. Anyone who says SpongeBob is bad has a problem. But we want you to know that everything is deeper than it actually just looks. So whenever you see a cartoon that doesn't befit your children or how benefit your children, please feel free to unsubscribe. This is Fruit Guided, giving you the facts all through. We would see you next time. Please hit the subscribe button.